Glam Fam, Linwood here, and today I'm going to show you how to do a fishtail braid down to the scalp. And I know many of you may be thinking this looks like a French braid, so I have a French braid over on this side here so you can see the difference. So this is a standard French braid, and I have a tutorial for this, so if you're interested in it, just click on the eye in the top right corner. This side here is a fishtail braid down to the scalp. It's quite a bit more intricate looking, and it gives a ton more detail to that braid. And as you can see, it seamlessly goes from one down into the next. A lot of times I see people try to do a French braid like this here and then turn it into a fishtail, and it just makes it incredibly obvious that you've got two different braids going on. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this baby down, and then I'll show you exactly how I did it. And it's a little bit easier than you might imagine. Okay, so we're gonna start off with a small section right up front, just like so. And contrary to popular belief, even though it's done with 2 strands, I'm actually going to start off with 3. So I'm gonna go ahead and section off 1, 2, and 3 strands. Now it's not going to stay that way, so don't let that trick you up. So we're gonna go ahead and bring the right strand over the middle and add it to the left. And then I'm gonna pick up just about half of that first section there. And we're gonna pick it up and bring it right over that middle section and bring it over to the right. So now I'm down to just 2 strands. And basically that crisscross action that I just did there helps to kind of close it up. If I don't start it off that way, I end up with a gap there in the front. So from there, it's really easy. I'm just gonna go ahead and slide my finger right across this part line. And before I actually cross it over, I'm gonna pick up a little bit of that section I just crossed over. So I've got some pre-existing hair from up here, and I'm gonna go ahead and bring it right on over into the opposite side. That's very, very important. If you don't pick up that little bit and add it over to the opposite side, it's going to go loose the moment that you even think about letting it go. Good morning. It's my coworker coming in done. So we're gonna go ahead and add a little bit more in there. Cross right on over. And we're just gonna continue in likewise fashion. So just picking up a little bit, that little bit of hair right there. It's coming from underneath. We wanna make sure to pick that up and just bring it right on over, just like so. And we're just continuing that process all the way down. So I'm gonna continue with this here, and then once I get down towards the bottom, I'll kinda come back and show you exactly what it's looking like and how you finish this baby off. Or actually, you know, I may need to just jump to the middle so that way you guys can get a better image of what exactly is going on here so it's not so small. Okay, so I'm at this point here, and hopefully you guys can see a little bit better. I'll tilt her towards you so you can see what's going on here. But notice here, I've got this section and there's this hair that's previously coming out from underneath this base. So when I'm sliding across this portion here, I'm gonna actually slide directly underneath some of that hair. I'm gonna pick it up and just cross right on over. So once I've done that, I'm gonna go ahead and grab that hair and pull it over to the opposite side. And you wanna make sure that you're holding it pretty snug. Your client should never really be in a ton of discomfort. So just keep in mind that while you're holding it snug, you're not ripping their hair out. Anytime that you're doing braids, you wanna make sure that while they're firm and they're snug, they're not gonna be causing your client a ton of discomfort, because usually that's a sign that's pulling a little bit too hard. Okay, so when you get down to the base here, you wanna make sure that you are keeping your hands in really close to the head. If you're extending that hair out, what you're gonna end up with is a ton of like buckling, and it's going to be a little saggy down here at the bottom. So I wanna keep really close down to the scalp and right in this nape, making sure I keep it nice and tight. So you'll kind of see me here going through there, and let's see if I can raise this up a little bit for you. There we go. Okay, so we're just keeping in close down to the scalp. That's gonna help me to keep the section really nice and neat. And just keep in mind, the smaller the sections you take, the better this braid is gonna look. Fishtail braids are made to look more intricate and more detailed than your standard braids or your standard French braids especially. So the more detail you put into it, the better this braid is gonna look when you finish. Okay, so I'm down to my last section. I'm just gonna go ahead and bring it right on over and cross. And you'll see some people where at this point they would want to like tie it off and curl it. I'm not really into that. So I'm gonna just go ahead and continue this braid right on down. And from here, it's just gonna transition into a standard fishtail braid. So it should go quite a bit quicker, but just keep in mind the size of those sections that you're picking up are what makes it look more like a fishtail. So the larger the pieces you're picking up, the more it's gonna look like a standard braid and less like a fishtail braid. If you need more instruction on this or even a slower version on how to do this, go ahead and check out my video on fishtail braiding, and it should be linked in the top right corner if you just click on that eye up there. I'll also try to make sure to put it in the description box below, but hopefully you guys can kind of see here exactly how it is done, and from there you should be good to go. So hopefully you learned something in this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, like it, subscribe, share with a friend, and thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, you guys, stay glam, take care, and bye-bye.